guys, Tazer here. Welcome back to episode 12 of New Toulouse. Today's episode we are going to continue on the airports, and today we're going to work on the cargo area and also quite a few runway markings. We're not gonna finish the whole airports in this episode. We probably have one or two episodes more. But yeah, so we're doing some runway markings here, which you can see. So it's pretty simple. I went off how they look in, in the Louis Armstrong airports, which is the airport in New Orleans. I also looked at the airports in Fort Lauderdale, how the runway markings work there. So I think this should be like pretty realistic. I'm not sure if it is, but I hope it is. So I realized my runways were kind of small, which was definitely my intention. I didn't want to have them like really long, because I simply couldn't fit really long runways, and also I didn't want the whole airport to be like much bigger than my whole city. But I still think the airport looks pretty realistic in terms of size. But yeah, so the runway numbers, or the directions on the runways, they are not like correct in terms of the game. I just simply copied them from the airport in Orleans. So yeah, the airport numbers are like definitely not accurate in terms of the game, I don't think. Yeah, as I said, copy them from the real airports. So, I'm adding some more of these concrete brushes here to make the runways more wide. I first considered putting ploppable asphalt, but then I realized that my asphalt textures are just much brighter than the color of these runways, so that simply didn't work. Because the runways are much darker than my actual roads, so I couldn't really use those. Otherwise I would have probably used them. But I think this solution here with the concrete brushes turned out pretty well. I did the same thing in probably Raymont and Ferrisburg. So yeah, I've sort of done this design before, but I think it turned out good. And I am adding some blast pads over here as well. And I'm not sure if this is accurate. I'm not sure when I'm adding the runway lights, but I think it's realistic to have the runway lights on top of the blast pads. I hope it is, because in one of the directions, which is really close to a road, I couldn't fit to have the runway lights start when the blast pad ends, so I had to put them on top of it. But then I actually looked on some real photos, and I think it is realistic to have the runway lights on top of the blast pads. But yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I'm adding some runway lights here. You can see I'm placing them on top of those, and yeah, I'm pretty sure that's realistic. So yeah, I simply used these because I thought they were pretty simple to add. I know I could get rid of like all of the runway lights, which I actually have. Like they aren't in this footage here. Well, here they are, but not in the last one. But I actually decided to use those instead, because I didn't want to place more props. So that's why I'm just using the normal lights for the runways. But yeah, I still think the whole light situation turned out pretty good, in my opinion. So yeah, but I'm just continuing adding some airports, or no, taxiway lines and stuff. But we're getting into this cool thing here. So Matthew on Twitter, which I mentioned before, he did send me some stuff from the New Orleans airports, because he lives in New Orleans, and yeah, he sent me some footage, which is really cool, which you can see here on the screen. So it's pretty much when he is driving around the airport and stuff. So yeah, big thanks to him for sending me that. Super cool to have some real footage, instead of just looking at Google Maps all the time. And yeah, so thanks so much to Matthew for sending me that. It's always really cool to look at that stuff. He sent me some stuff before. So yeah, but we are getting into this cargo area here, which is like mainly UPS planes and UPS cargo. I know in New Orleans they have a pretty big FedEx hub, or well, I guess not really big. I think there's like 3 stands, which is the same as here. But yeah, they have some like FedEx distribution center over there. But I decided to make it UPS instead. I don't know why, but yeah. So I definitely took a lot of inspiration for this little airplane stand area, whatever you call this, from the real one. It sort of has these same layouts with a distribution center just in front of the planes, and they sort of go in like this, and as I said, 3 stands. So yeah, I think this should be pretty realistic. I actually added a FedEx plane next to the UPS plane here, but I actually end up getting rid of the FedEx plane and just replacing it by a UPS, because I just wanted to have this area only for UPS, because I don't think it makes sense for UPS and FedEx to share the same distribution center. I might be wrong on that, but yeah, I don't know. I just decided to make this whole area just for UPS, and I also, all of the trucks, which I will add later on, next to the distribution center, they're all, or the trailers are just all UPS, but yeah. So, as I said before, we're probably gonna have 1 to 2 more episodes of the airport build, I guess. I hope we're gonna finish it in the next one, but we might need 2 episodes, I don't know. But yeah, pretty much what we have left is to detail all around the gates on the passenger terminals, and we also have to make the highway underpassing, which goes under the runway and the taxiway, which is gonna be pretty cool. Haven't done one of those things before, so pretty excited for that. But yeah, we'll most often do that in the next episode, as well as adding details around the gates and stuff, and pretty much just finishing up some small details and stuff around the whole airport. So yeah, we'll see if I can be able to make that all of that in the next episode, or I might need to. But which you might have noticed that this episode is, or it was 2 weeks ago since I uploaded the last one. I did take a little bit of a break from City Skylines. Because I didn't really feel too inspired for some reason to just play, so I took a little bit of a break, which I think is needed sometimes to really get back into the game and build some cool stuff. So I took like a week off and just played other stuff, but I'm actually gonna have to make the or it's gonna be 2 weeks after this episode until the next one comes out, because I'm going away for a few days to Italy, so I won't really have time to make another episode for the next Saturday. So we're gonna have a gap of 2 weeks again, which I'm sorry there's gonna be a gap like that again, but hopefully it's fine. I think we won't have like any bigger breaks than that when I get back. So yeah. Another question I wanted to ask you guys is if we should add a, I guess, private jet area in this airport. I think there is one in New Orleans. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is. I'm gonna have to look that up now. But yeah, I wanted to just ask you guys if we should add a private jet area, I guess, with all sort of small planes and stuff. I think that could be pretty cool, but want to get your opinion on that, if we should make that area. So yeah, but now I'm getting into just making a little road here, which goes around this distribution center, where all of the cargo stuff and airport vehicles would drive. There actually isn't a road under this, so we won't have any vehicles driving there. But I still think it just made a really good, I guess, detail to add all of those lines there. And I'm just overall happy how it turned out. Using some of those like extra long lines or whatever they're called, I think they work pretty well. I also made a inner change off camera, which you will see in the cinematics if you stick around for that. It's actually pretty cool. I did post a screenshot on Instagram and also on Reddit if you are active there. But yeah, I'll make sure to get some cinematics in for that interchange, because I did quite a lot of detailing and stuff with I guess exiting lanes and stuff, which is pretty cool. So stick around for these cinematics if you want to see that, and yeah. Also, another thing, I just have a lot of things to talk about, I guess, but another thing I wanted to ask is if, or I guess not ask, because I really want to do it, but I think I'm gonna do a plane spotting area in this airport, which is definitely inspired by the one in Springwood, which $2.20 made. I thought that was a really cool idea, and yeah, I have plane spotted quite a bit myself on different airports, so I think it would be sort of fitting to make one of those, and I think it's just a really cool idea. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do that, probably in the next episode, or in like the one after that. We will have to see. So the last thing I wanted to mention in this episode is obviously the name of the airport, because as you probably know from the last episode, I asked if you guys could suggest some names for the airports, and I actually forgot to talk about that later on, or before in this time lapse, so I'm just gonna say it now. The name for the airport is going to be Robert R. Livingston International Airport, and that was suggested by Verum Positor. And yeah, the reason I went for that name is, first of all, it got the most upvotes, I guess, which means that most people did like that name, and I also think it just sounds really realistic. I feel like that could be a real airport. So yeah, I'll put up a picture on screen right now of his comment, because he makes a little bit of a story, which is really cool. So you can read that if you want. But yeah, that was pretty much the last thing I wanted to mention. So I think I'm just gonna leave you guys with some music for the rest of this episode, and yeah, let you watch some cinematics at the end. But yeah, I'm gonna probably head off now, and thank you so much for watching this episode. If you did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like, and also subscribe if you're new to the channel. And make sure to follow me on Twitter if you want some updates, screenshots, or whatever, and also Instagram. They're all linked in the description. But that's gonna pretty much do it for this episode, and enjoy some music now and the cinematics, and I'll see you next time. So take care, have a great day, and bye bye.